Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another commentary. I recorded this video, and it was 21 minutes long, so I wanted to shorten it. I know a lot of you are curious as to what this video is about, and I'll kind of towards the end tell you why I'm creating this video. But on March 28th of 2013, I made a video. It is currently the most watched video on my channel with 192,000 views, and it was called "OpTic Shot. What's His Secret?" Now, at the time, I was nothing but a fan of competitive Call of Duty. I had watched competitive Call of Duty since Black Ops 1, and I just loved it, and I watched it all the time. And especially when Black Ops 2 came out, it was huge. It blew up. I loved Black Ops 2 as a game, but I wasn't talking about it. I talked about that in that video. I talked about Nade because I was watching streams, and if you watch the video, you can kind of hear what happened. But I was basically watching streams and saw this phenomenon, and I asked myself why. And I literally was just asking, why do people love this guy so much that they will leave Proofy, this great player that is amazing, and that at that time in my mind was a better player than Nade? They would leave his stream and go to Nade's the minute they saw Nade was streaming. What is the difference? And I called out what I believed some of those differences were in that video. It became the most popular video on my channel. People started liking it. It grew and grew and grew. It has always been since then the largest video on my channel. And about September of that same year of 2013, September, so like a year ago, I decided I want to take a break from YouTube. I was just like, I was playing too much, I was commentating too much, I was making too many videos. I had my pro tips, and Ghost was about to come out in a couple of months, and I wanted to take a break to see if YouTube was still something I wanted to do, because I just felt like my content was dry. It wasn't really. Who am I to give pro tips? Like, I wasn't that great of a player in the first place. I could drop 50 bombs all the time on Black Ops 2, but I probably died 20 times minimum, because I was such an aggressive player. And so, but I would make these pro tips about aiming and all this kind of stuff, controlling the engagement, whatever. And then I made videos about like how to be a man. I made some serious talk videos, and people like that kind of stuff. I think when I took my break, I had 1,300 subscribers, and I was averaging about 100 views a video. If I got 30 or 40 likes, I was celebrating. I was throwing a party for that many likes. And so I went on that break, and 2 weeks into the break, I decided, you know what? I'm going to look at my YouTube channel just to see if it's shrunk, because I told people I was going on a break to see if it's like diminished. And so I went to my YouTube channel, and I had like 500 new subscribers. And I was like, what the heck happened? So I went to my OpTic Shot video, because when I went on my break, it had 32,000 views, but it now had about 48,000 views. And so I went and looked at it, and lo and behold, the top comment was none other than OpTic Shot saying, "Hey, I really appreciate this. I like, your views. I like the way you do your commentaries, blah, blah, blah." It had hundreds of thumbs ups. And this was the time in YouTube when you liked and viewed a video, it showed up in your stream on your channel. And so people were seeing my video in his recently viewed or recently liked videos, and people were subbing like crazy, and they were watching that video like crazy. It got 15,000 views like in a couple days. And so I said, interesting. Went back to my break, but I talked to my boys, Judgment Awaits, Ocho Blanco, the Jesus Freak. I talked to my boys. I still talk to them every day to this day. And I said, this is kind of crazy the way this video is blowing up. It's making me think I should come back, but I really don't want to do what I was doing. And I think it was Judgment Awaits that said, have you ever thought about just talking about esports? And I was like, well, what do you mean? I'm not a pro player. I don't play GBs. I don't play in any tournaments. I never have. I don't play really competitively. I play league play sometimes, of course, because I watch competitive Call of Duty, but I've always been nothing but a spectator. And to grow as someone who talks about competitive Call of Duty, I look at the model of Nadeshot or Proofy or Rambo or Merc, these guys that were pro players that people would want to hear from. But he was like, well, if people watched that video, why wouldn't they watch anything else? And I said, good point. So I conceptualized that I was going to do these COD profiles. And then I came back, I did a video, I think it was Black Ops 1 gameplay. And I said, I'm back. I'm going to come back, but I'm going to be talking about competitive Call of Duty. I'm going to be doing these COD profiles and basically take a player and break down their player history and all this kind of stuff. I know right now, even as I mention it, you guys are like, when are those coming back? Somebody probably already typed it in the comments. It's too late. And so I am working on it. I promise you guys behind the scenes, I am working on it. And so I decided to do a COD profile. Neslo was my first one. I think Crim or Scump was my second one. I think Scump might have been my second one. I don't even remember. I think it was Scump was my second one, which is like my number 3 most watched video on my channel. People loved the COD profiles, blew my channel up. And so by the time Ghost came out, my channel was really big. And then Roster Mania hit. And this was unique. This was different for some reason than all the other roster changes because now social media was huge. And when Roster Mania hit, when JCap got dropped, my channel just. My number 2 most watched video is my video called OpTic Drops JCap to Keep Scump. Now, I don't really know if that's the reason or whatever, but that's what I said, and then I, came up with people loved that video. They came to my channel. I've got more subscribers from that video than any video I've ever put up. And so I think it's like almost 4,000 people have subscribed to my channel after watching that. And so that video blew me up. And then I just kept growing and growing because I was reporting on roster changes. I was giving my opinion. I was talking about events. And then in January, I had more views in 1 month than I've ever had. I think I had a little over 500,000 views in January of this year. And that was because I believe that's when Merc was dropped. And that's when all these crazy roster changes happened. I think that's also when like Parasite ended up on OpTic, Scump went to Envy. People were just bouncing around team to team, Saints, Ricky, all that kind of stuff. And I talked about all of it. I did videos, and my channel just blew up. My channel was continuing to grow, and things were going good. And then one random day, now this is when teams decided that they wanted to blacklist OpTic Gaming. And I wasn't talking about the blacklisting. I was like, whatever, this is stupid, whatever. I wasn't going to talk about it. And then OpTic Nadeshot tweeted, which is something he had never done before. He tweeted out, and I'll try to put the tweet on the screen if I can find it, but he tweeted out, hey, I like your content. Keep doing what you're doing, or something like that. You guys can see it on the screen. I don't remember what it said. And in the same moment, he followed me on Twitter. And when he followed me, Scump followed me. Hex was already following me. I just didn't know it. And then 2 days later, now, of course, I picked up 800 followers and 1,300 subscribers that day that Nadeshot tweeted that out. And my channel just, of course, kept growing and growing and growing. And Twitter followers just, that was when my Twitter following went from, I think I maybe had 1,200, and I just kept growing, and it kept skyrocketing. And then 2 days later, I put out my blacklisting video in my closet where I felt like I needed to talk about it because it was getting ridiculous. And I made that video, and within a day, it had 20,000 views. Now, I've had videos do that since then, but until that moment, I'd never had a video get 20,000 views in one day. But that was because Hex tweeted out that video. I think Scump might have tweeted out that video. He followed me that day. Diesel followed me that day. I think Hazard followed me that day. Midnight followed me that day. Who else? I think whoever was on OpTic at that time, they followed me. Like, all of the OpTic players followed me, and most of the OpTic organization, and they were tweeting at me about the video. And Hex tweeted it out, and it just blew up, and it was huge. A lot of people today have said that they found me because of my blacklisted video. Hitch found me, I believe, because of my blacklisted video. Goalie might have even found me because of my blacklisted video. It's kind of crazy, but a lot of people have said that that's the video. And so I appreciate everything that OpTic has done for me. One day, soon after that, Hex hit me up and said he said DM, and people were like, oh, and so I was excited thinking this was great news. And then I got in Skype with Hex, and he was like, with great power comes great responsibility. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do for you? Make a video? Do some commentary? What do you need me to do? And he said, a few of your videos, you've said some stuff about OpTic that just isn't true. And I was like, oh. Then he told me the things, and I'm not going to talk about them now. And I just told him where I got the information from, and then I said, well, what do you want? And he said, well, in the future, he said, just hit me up first. He's like, if you have a question, just ask it. I can't always answer, but just ask it. And even it was funny because recently, I think it was like a month ago, I asked him something, and he didn't deny it. He just kind of asked me a question that made it clear. what he was talking about. And so he's been a great help. I know to pro players, to other owners, um, to fans of other teams, and even to some Optic fans. I know they see Optic as this family, this conglomerate, like it's like a mob family that you got to be in the inner circle to be a part of the inner circle, and if you're not in the family, you're not in the family. And pro players have outed themselves from the family, and then they never can get picked up by Optic, and it's unfortunate. And and there's a reason why that people have a love-hate relationship with Optic Gaming. And one of the reasons I made this video is because people seem to really flame me and call me an Optic fanboy. I lose followers if I say anything nice about Optic Gaming on Twitter. I said, and if I say GGs to FaZe like I did for MLG Columbus, within 15 seconds, I lost nearly 20 followers saying GGs to FaZe. That was it. I lost 15 followers. And so it is a hard knock life for myself, but I appreciate everything Optic has given me. My channel would not be what it is. Nobody would probably, not very many people would know who I am if Nadeshot would have never stopped by that video. If Nadeshot would have never tweeted out. If Hex wouldn't have tweeted out my blacklisted video. Many of you would have never found me. Yes, out of my top 6 videos, 4 of them are about Optic, 2 of them are about Envy. But that's because of the gaming community. I can't change that. And I think sometimes people expect me to just not talk about Optic. Like, people talk about Optic so much, why do you keep making videos about Optic? People probably hate this video. They disliked it before even watching it because I'm talking about Optic again. And they're tired of hearing about Optic Gaming. But here's the thing. Until Optic is dethroned as the largest organization, and if they just disappeared, then everybody would be talking about Envy. When you have the most fans, and what I report and analyze is news, information, statistics, and when I say, ask me some questions, and you guys give me 40 Optic questions and 10 questions about other people in the community. That's why. But I try as a commentator to do things that diminish that. My best competitive videos of the week series, I've had 3 Optic videos on there, and that was a rarity because I have a rule that I won't let Nadeshot or Scump have videos on that channel. Now, Crim6 is getting so big where I'm going to have to eliminate him, but then it's like, well, what the heck am I going to put on there? Crim is in almost every week, and so that's one of the reasons why I stopped doing that series, because it's hard for me to find videos. Pro players haven't been consistently uploading, and it's like, well, do I want to just make the Crim6 hour the best Crim6 videos of the week? And so it's been tough, and people have never complained that I don't put Optic videos because I say, well, what's the point of me shouting out a video you've already seen? The whole point of my best competitive vid series is to shout out people who need to grow, so I put replays on there back in the day. I've put Merc on there. I put Rambo on there. It's like I want to put videos. I put Neslo on there. Sharp. I want to put videos that are going to help people that aren't as big as Optic Gaming, and that's why I intentionally do that. And I've said that before. We've never had a player from Optic on the sticks. Now, that's not to say that we haven't asked, but I don't think I've ever asked Scump to be on the show. I don't think so. I don't know if I've actually asked Nade either. I might have asked him for an interview, but I don't think I've ever asked him to be on the show. I don't think I've asked Crim because I know that the community hears so much from those guys, but we've had Hex on. Imbos has been interviewed on my channel, So I don't know what to do, but I guess what I'm saying is if there's a love or hate I gotta pick, I'd rather be on the love side. I'd rather just say I love Optic Gaming. I'm an analyst. I'm going to talk honestly about everybody. And when you guys hear who we have on the sticks on Monday, you're going to be like, but, I'm just here because I love competitive Call of Duty. I love competitive Call of Duty. I love watching it, hearing about it. And what I actually do like the most is I like watching people interact with other people and grow. Whether it's, you look at a person, like, look at Aches and his recent tweets and his personality on Twitter. Like, I'm like, who is this dude? It's amazing to watch, and to see the growth and to see a person go from a kid to a man. To watch that growth take place and to see how they interact with each other. That's what I'm interested in. And if I can be in the community and if I can help some people like Hitch, Fatty, Goalie, Crush, Rage, the whole Sticks family, Josh from Carnage, if I can help anyone to grow, that I can pull around me and I can help them grow or help them find a job in the esports community or whatever, then I'm going to do that. And if you guys wonder, like, when is Kingdom Soldier going to be actually gone? You know, you're 30 something, and uh, I'm waiting for someone to come along and do what I do, but just grow way past me. You know, it was funny because Gandhi just skyrocketed past me, and then he left the competitive Call of Duty community. It was like I was like, all right, you know, I can probably take a back seat. You know, this guy talks about these events, he gets more views on his videos, blah blah blah. You know, and now he's playing with all these big players. He's growing out of his mind, and then he left the competitive Call of Duty community to go work for Smite. You know, and so it's like, well, guess not. You know, and so I'm happy that I've been able to be used to kind of create a market that didn't really exist of people that really just walked into the community and said, "Hey, I'm going to start talking about this." And I appreciate you guys for respecting my opinion. I appreciate the Green Wall for respecting my opinion, for viewing my videos. I appreciate Hector for watching the sticks every week. Um, you know, as much as other people may complain, um, I appreciate the stuff that OpTic has done for me and never asked for anything in return. Hector, the only thing he's asked for is for me to, you know, make sure I do my research. That's it. You know, never asked for anything in return. He's never said don't talk about OpTic on your show. He didn't ever DM me and say, hey, that video you made about Proofy was uncalled for. He didn't say, you know, you keep talking about OpTic Nation, you don't think they're going to work as a team. You know, I know he's heard this stuff, but he's not DMing me and telling me I can't state my opinion. So I appreciate it, you know, and I hope that you guys will continue to support me, regardless of how much I end up talking about OpTic Gaming, because if I stopped, there's a lot of my followers. There's a lot of people that view my show and my YouTube channel that would feel like they're not getting the information they want, and I like to deliver to you guys, you know, the information that you want about the community. But I also try to deliver some stuff that you might not know and tell you about people you might not know about. Nevertheless, this is your boy Kingdom Soldier. Hashtag if you want to call me OpTic Fanboy. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.